Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com, and it's time for a rant. And this is a two-part rant. One thing people have been asking for me to talk about, I'll talk about that in the second part. And then the first thing, I've been using Instagram a lot. So since I got my iPhone 4S, I've been shooting a lot of images with Instagram, and I love what Instagram allows me to do. It's a challenging thing to pick up a different form, a different medium of camera, and have to utilize the tools that they allow you to use. Like, you can't crop because there is no crop tool. You can use their different filters. I wish there were other filters, and I wish I could do more tweaking in the files. I wish I could do that, but I can't. So I have to use what Instagram allows me to do. It allows me to, I'm holding the phone just to give the visual of Instagram. Anyway, it gives me the ability to put in spot focus type things. You could do a circle. You could do a long strip of focus in a very small area. So Instagram, this isn't about why you should use Instagram. There's 14 million people already using it, but I like it for the creativity that you get from just using the app to what it allows you to do. And that brings us to what I'm ranting about. People that upload photos that weren't taken with the iPhone and basically didn't have anything to do with Instagram. They take them, they edit them edit them in Photoshop, they edit them in Lightroom, they make compositions or compilations, they add different colors, they do different things, and then they go ahead and they re-upload it up to Instagram. Now, call me traditional, with the not cropping and the I shoot raw type of stuff, but I find it pretty annoying when I go into the popular settings or the popular section of Instagram and I see that somebody uploaded an HDR image. You can't do that in Instagram. And I think a lot of the photographers in the community get it. They use Instagram because that's the tool that they have in front of them. They use it to the full extent. They're not going to go ahead and take a picture with their D3S or whatever they have and then tweak it and edit it and then upload it to Instagram. Sure, Instagram's a great way to share your images, but to me, I feel that it's a program where you're supposed to utilize the tools that are right in it to then share the images that you capture just using Instagram. So that's my little rant on the Instagram part. And then something else is another tool, and I'm going to talk about that right after the snap of the fingers. The second part of this rant is the LYTRO camera. It's been a couple months since they finally announced this weird shaped looking box to capture images. And I know Adam and I have had this discussion of whether to put up a video like this and bring more views to what LYTRO is and what it does. And I thought for a long time about, should I do this? And obviously it's been up until this point that I haven't really talked about it because I called it an app. I thought it was going to be an app. I thought it was a big gimmick, and I still think it's pretty much a big gimmick. And of course I was wrong about it just being an app, but who knows? We'll see when this camera comes out if they'll send me one, because I did ask for one to be sent. Now the thing is with this LYTRO, I'm pretty not happy that every tech magazine and blog has been on their I don't know what word to use without using that other one, has been all over them for how amazing this technology is and how it's a game changer and how it's going to revolutionize things and something, it's the invention of the year in popular science and popular science, yeah. And I was just sit there and I go, I don't get it. If I had this camera, I would try to do some things with it because, just like the Instagram allows you to use what the tools are that you have inside the program, the LYTRO is going to allow you to do that same thing. But the reason I rip on it so bad are the examples that they're showing and the market that they're trying to hit. The way that they say that, we're just going, you want to take a picture and then focus it later, great. But then they show you examples of like a candlestick and then a gorgeous model in the background, and then the focus goes to the model, and then the candlestick's out of focus, or the candlestick's in focus and the model's out of focus, and you sit there and you go, well, but that's a terrible composition. Just because you have the ability to change your focus later doesn't mean that you should use it to make crappily, I made that up, crappily composed images. So that's my major gripe right now with this whole LYTRO movement and LYTRO thing, is that crappy images are coming out of it. Now, when real photographers pick it up, the Zach Ariases of the world, who picks up a lot of new cameras from those Fuji X1s to the X10 or X100, the X10, and he's big on Instagram. I follow him on Instagram. You know, if he picked up this camera, the LYTRO, he'd probably be able to create something interesting with it. And I think it's the pros that are going to be able to use this technology to whatever full extent that it would allow us to use. I'd like to try it, but try to come up with ways to utilize it to take interesting pictures that it will let me do. But you're not going to see me take a picture of a wheel, a bicycle wheel with spokes, and then have a gorgeous hot model behind it, and then focus on the gorgeous hot model, and then I got all this crap in and out of focus in front of me. So just because you have the ability to do something doesn't mean that you should, and it doesn't mean that it's a quality capture or a quality image. Excuse me. So that's my major gripe with that thing. I hope they send me one to use, and that is my rant on Instagram and the LYTRO camera. And we will see you the next time. Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com. See ya!